The idea that Gaster is scattered across time and space is essentially him being fragmented between real time and the world of computer code. From what we know about Gaster, we can see pieces of him scattered throughout Undertale, and it seems like he's also the voice speaking to us in Deltarune. Here's what I think happened. Gaster originally existed as a set of game files that defined his role, dialogue, stats, and sprite in Undertale. However, what we end up with in the game is far more cryptic. Monochrome NPCs mentioning him, a room containing only his sprite, which appears depending on your fun value, and his stats being stored in the game's files. In my theory, Gaster's creation and his eventual disappearance involved him trying to escape the Undertale universe by literally pulling his files out and attempting to place them into Deltarune. Unfortunately, he didn't manage to extract everything correctly, and as a result, he became fragmented across both space and time. As for time, I think it's real, in the sense that it's the real passage of time, something game characters usually don't experience. Given that Toby Fox started working on Deltarune before Undertale, this could explain how Gaster ended up in Deltarune. It also fits with the idea of him communicating through Toby's Twitter before Deltarune was released. This theory could also help explain Entry 17, since the game was still in its early stages when Gaster became part of it. I think the Dark Fountain interpretation fits here. At first, Gaster couldn't be properly interpreted or represented because the game was still in development, but once he woke up, he found himself at the core of Deltarune's world, essentially the dark depths of the code, a fountain that is darker than any other. This could also explain why Gaster has such a powerful ability to manipulate the game. He's been part of it from the very beginning and understands the code inside and out, since in this world everything is connected. Additionally, this idea explains why entering his name crashes the game. He's a corrupted file, missing essential pieces. It could also clarify what happened to the Goners. They were somehow linked to Gaster, likely through his dialogue, and when he disappeared, they too became corrupted and forgotten, just like him. Now, I'm also convinced that the man from Deltarune is a version of DT Gaster, and this theory sort of supports that. I think what happened is that when Gaster made his way into Deltarune, he clashed with the pre-existing Gaster there and essentially overwrote him, much like a file replaces another when it's placed into a folder with the same name. However, since not all of Gaster's files were named the same way, this is why the man is so hard to describe. There's nothing in the game that can accurately depict him. You can't speak his name, and you have to go out of your way to find him. But just like the original Gaster, DT Gaster is capable of manipulating missing files and creating things from the fragments. I'm pretty confident in this theory, but I'm also open to the possibility that I've missed some key piece of information that disproves it. I'm also aware that the next chapter could completely turn this on its head, but for now, I haven't come across anything that directly contradicts it. What do you think?